Welcome, everyone, to the Bradley Center. We're in downtown Milwaukee, the home of the Bucks, where we'll be broadcasting today's live action. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. And guys, checking out Damian Lillard. What can we expect here?
He's really the lifeblood of this team, Kevin. For the most part, everything they do revolves around him.
Their heart and soul, their heartbeat, if you will, and that should be the case because every other player on the court really looks to him for leadership. Boy, you talk about a franchise having some terrible luck with injuries. Portland is certainly that team. A lot of emerging stars in Rip City have had their careers or tenure cut short because of injury. And the injury bug, once again, reared its head for Portland.
And Portland starts out with the ball. Lillard gets the screen from Lopez. Lillard up top. He's guarded by Knight and stolen by Knight. And now here's Mayo, the fast break opportunity. And good on the basket. Book it. Mayo's got the game going here with the first basket for Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's a nice way for his team to get started.
Yeah, really nice start for his team to get out in front here.
As you said, with the Blazers throughout the ages, they've had to deal with injuries to guys like Walton and Oden and most recently Roy. Unfortunately, Steve, starting over is something that they are used to doing.
But they are in a pretty good position to do so right now, Kevin. I think they've been really good in the draft the last couple of years. Obviously, they got a star in Damian Lillard that they can build around. To me, the key is LaMarcus Aldridge. Can they re-sign him? Can he be that dominant low-post guy in Portland for the next 5 or 6 years? He sure has the potential. And the bounce pass was the key to the play.
And Lillard kicks to Aldridge. And there's the foul. It goes on Ilyasova. That's his first foul.
That's a quick foul to pick up here in the opening quarter.
First quarter, just over a minute played. Lillard misses. The Bucks have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. From about 19 feet, can't get it to go. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. Kicks to Aldridge. The shot is off. Excellent D there from Ilyasova.
That's 3 misses to start the game, guys. Does not bode well here early.
And it's Butler with the jam. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Tipped away. Fast break, Milwaukee. Knight's running. And slam dunk by Butler.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Here's Lillard after the basket by Milwaukee. Sanders with a screen on Aldridge. Here's Butler, and again it's Milwaukee converted. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Bucks.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
The Trailblazers have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Lillard dishes to Aldridge. Shot to end this cold run, and it's in off the backboard.
Well, we'll see if that shot breaks things open a little bit. It's been a slow start.
Hopefully that gets them on the right track here, Steve.
Shot's good by Butler.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
Yeah, they're making the right play, they're working together, and they're just looking for the best shot they can every possession.
Now, here's Batum. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Lillard. He feeds it to Aldridge. 5 on the clock. Line against Lillard, and that one's good.
Well, Blazers coach Terry Stotts is a branch on the tree of head coach George Karl, and that's a pretty good tree to be on. In his playing days, Karl coached Stotts in the CBA, and actually Stotts had a pretty good career in Europe.
They built a big lead here early,
both defensively and offensively. They've been terrific right from the tip.
Pass to Aldridge, and he uses the glass on the layup. Aldridge has got his second basket.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
And for Terry Stotts, after his playing days, he coached as an assistant under George Karl, both in the CBA and then with the Sonics and the Bucks.
And over 2 decades of coaching experience, Kevin. This is his 6th season overall as an NBA head coach. Remember, he coached the Hawks as well as the head man, but I thought did a nice job with Portland last season.
Here's Lillard. That's good. Bucks leading by 9. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Larry Drew. He talked about the respect he has for the game of LaMarcus Aldridge and how tough it will be for them to slow him down, saying Aldridge is tough because he can score facing up or with his back to the basket. And with his length, it's tough to bother his shot. We'll look to deny him the ball when we can and just try to make it as hard as possible every touch. Kevin, we'll see how successful they are.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Knight. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Right side, Mayo. Ring shot on the way. That's good. The assist that time from Knight.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. And they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
And the basket good. And it's 8 points for Aldridge.
These defenders look overmatched right now, especially inside.
Yeah, you look at the numbers, 10 of the last 12 points have come from close range, so I agree.
Ilyasova, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Boy, the ball movement's been fantastic here the last few possessions.
Lillard attacking. Second shot opportunity, and it's laid in by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 10.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Couldn't convert, but nice little 2-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Lopez passes to Lillard. Shot clock at 6. From deep 3-point range. Rebound by Caron Buck. Milwaukee leading by 7. The pass to Mayo. Back to Butler. And now the fast break. Matthews with the ball. Butler with the ball. And Batum picks him up defensively. And that'll be Milwaukee as it goes out of bounds. Bucks retain possession.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
Leonard, he's checked in for Lopez. And stolen by Aldridge. Here is Matthews. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change.
Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
Milwaukee is gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Knight kicks to Ilyasova. The offensive rebound. Outside Mayo. And there's the feed to Pachulia. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And the nation of intimidation right in front of us here, guys, on this overlay. Let's take a moment here for the career leaders in blocks per game. Some giants of the NBA.
Well, that's what you'd expect, right? Mark Eaton, 7'4", Manute Bol, 7'7". I mean, those are specialists right there. And then you have more all-around big guys like Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. And I'll tell you what, if you're averaging around 3 blocks a game, well, that's top tier.
That free throw, no good.
Well, the Bucks playing here at the BMO Harris Bradley Center, one of the older arenas in the NBA at around a quarter century. And the Bucks have said they'll leave Milwaukee after the 2017 season unless a new arena is built.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Robinson's checked in for Aldridge. And it's Williams in for Damian Lillard. He hits the second from the line. And back to the arena situation here in Milwaukee. This is one of the smaller markets in the NBA. Steve, that can make it tougher to get an arena done.
Well, and there's a potential change in ownership that has loomed over the franchise as well. Obviously, we all want to see the team stay in Milwaukee. A lot of great history here going way back. So hopefully an arena deal will get done.
Here is Knight after the made shot from Mo Williams. One-on-one fast break. Now Knight. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Butler. Here's Pachulia. The stupendous finish in traffic. And the Bucks lead by 6.
They've been hot here early, dropping them in left and right.
Let's see how long they can keep it going. This is quite a start.
Matthews with it. Now Mayo defending. The shot. Another miss by Williams.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Mayo into the lane. And he gets it to go. And it's an 8-point Milwaukee lead.
That's his 4th straight make right out the chute. He's setting a pretty high standard for himself here.
Yeah, it's the kind of start you want every game, but of course you rarely get it.
Now here's Matthews. He dishes it to Leonard. Plays it up and banks it in.
Boy, this game is off to a terrific start.
No doubt. On both sides, high-octane offense.
Now, here is Knight. And he gets it to go. Knight's got his first bucket in this one. Trailblazers trail by 8. And here's Matthews. Baseline J on the way. Robinson misses.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Butler rejected by Leonard, but he gets it back. And it's out of bounds. The Bucks able to retain possession here. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Now here's Henson. Not a lot of room.
It has taken no time to build this lead up on the strength of a great first quarter offensively.
And they need to continue to put pressure on the defense and try to really run away with this one from here.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Trailblazers trail by 10. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
That's good.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
Now, here is Ridnour. He kicks it to Mayo. Now the dish to Delfino. And there's O.J. Mayo on the assist by Delfino. 13 points for O.J. Mayo.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Robinson dishes to Williams. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Leonard. Stolen. A minute 50 left to play in the first quarter. It's O.J. Mayo on the way. Good D by Williams.
Take a look at the rebound totals, guys. That's +5 now on the glass.
And, Steve, I don't think there's any question which team came out with more energy and enthusiasm. Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
Now here's Mayo, 13 points in the game.
You know, one of the bigger moves last season was the surprising trade between the Kings and the Rockets that sent Thomas Robinson over to Houston. Not often do you see a team give up on their number 5 overall pick just after half a season.
You know, when the size advantage is that pronounced, I mean, that's exactly what you should do offensively in this situation. Take it strong to the middle.
And yes, sir, that one drops. 16 points for O.J. Mayo.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
Well, going back to that Thomas Robinson trade, not the best rookie season, certainly. Begins with Sacramento, then goes to Houston. But the Rockets felt it was really worth a gamble to acquire a lottery talent. What do you think?
Well, you know, they were looking for an asset, and of course they ended up moving him along to Portland during the offseason. So it's an interesting situation. Thomas Robinson with his 3rd team already after being, what, the 5th pick in the draft just a year ago or so.
That free throw, no good.
You know, it's always a challenge adjusting from college to the pro game, particularly when you talk about the size of the NBA big men. When Thomas Robinson struggled his rookie season, he really started to lock into watching tape of another undersized power forward, Mr. Paul Millsap, as a way to try to improve his own game.
Well, back to Thomas Robinson, like Millsap, a terrific rebounder in college. He led all big-time NBA prospects in the 2012 draft in overall rebound rate.
And that translated to his rookie season, Kevin, where he had problems finishing. You know, rookie field goal percentage of 43%.
Now Williams, after the missed 3 from Delfino. A fader. Robinson, that's good. Milwaukee leading by 8. Ridnour with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Delfino passes to Ridnour. Buries it from 3-point range. And the Bucks lead by 11. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Milwaukee on top. They're up by 11. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And for the Bucks here, they've been putting a show on, guys.
They've done a nice job on the offensive boards here, guys, and I think that was the difference in that first quarter. Really pounding the offensive glass.
Well, they set the tone early with their mindset, their tenacity, and their hustle. I mean, that's the way they've come out, and it's served them well.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play on the court for the Bucks. Mayo and Delfino are the wings. Up front, it's Henson and Sanders. And it's Ridnour in at the guard position. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, guys, Thomas Robinson was the 5th overall pick out of Kansas back in 2012. He struggled his rookie season and has since been traded twice. First from the Kings to the Rockets, and then to the Blazers. The Rockets were looking to clear cap space to sign Dwight Howard, but a great opportunity for Robinson with the Blazers, a team that needed help in their rotation. And guys, Robinson led the nation in rebounding his junior season with the Jayhawks. He's got the talent.
He certainly does, Doris. Thanks. And he can't get the first one.
Well, a lot of basketball pundits, so to speak, would like to eliminate lottery pick protection outside the top 3 from trades. They feel it gives teams too strong an incentive to tank. You look at the Blazers last season, they owed their pick to the Bobcats if it was 13th or lower, and they finished the season 8-26 after going 500 at that point. So maybe a little suspicious.
Good on the second free throw. Well, and Clark, going back to the Blazers, they finished the season among the worst defensive teams in the entire league.
And that's where they've got to improve, Kevin. They did a decent job denying looks on the perimeter, but they didn't get blocks or steals, so not a real force defensively. And among the worst in fast break points and points in the paint as well, so they clearly have some areas they can shore up.
Here's Lillard after the made shot from Ridnour. And Lillard gets to right. Ridnour with the steal. And he uses the glass on the layup. And the Bucks lead by 17.
Virtually uncontested. It's nice to be able to add to the lead without really having to work for it.
Here's Lopez. The rebound by the Bucks. Ilyasova's got his third rebound tonight. Out to the right wing. Delfino dishes to Ridnour. Shoots from the elbow. Misses off the right iron. Trailblazers trail by 17. Lillard with it. Now guarded by Ridnour. Lillard attacking. That's good. Lillard's got 6. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Knight against Matthews. Knight kicks to Ilyasova. Back to Knight. Out to the right wing. Just 5 on the clock. Ridnour with it. Lillard picks him up. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, you know, a big new contract, guys, for Ersan Ilyasova going into last season, and he terrified everybody in Milwaukee with a terrible start, but regained his confidence in January and finished the season strong.
And going back to the rough start for Ilyasova, not uncommon for players to struggle after getting that big new contract.
Yeah, I've seen it time and again, players putting a lot of pressure on themselves, trying to live up to the money. But in most cases, the coaches just want the player to do what he does already and what got him here in the first place.
You know, during the season before last, the Bucks' problem had been offense. They just couldn't put up points consistently, and even when their defense would hold up, they would simply get outgunned by teams. They decided to change that by trying to be more of a transition team last year.
And the Bucks making a change here. Butler's checked in, and that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And back to the Bucks actually led the entire Eastern Conference in pace and were 3rd overall in the NBA. Steve, only teams that were ahead of them were the Rockets and Nuggets, 2 teams you always think of running.
Well, it makes sense for the Bucks to have played that style last year. They had that backcourt of Ellis and Jennings, a lot of speed and quickness. They later added J.J. Redick, so we had shooting. So they had to play fast. It made some sense, but in the end, you know, they've made some changes in the offseason, and they're looking to get better.
Now, here's Lillard. Brandon Knight missing his last shot. Right, that's a 2-pointer, and it comes off the front of the rim.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
Here's Matthews, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set.
Ridnour gets a screen from Ilyasova. Knight for 3. That's good. And it's Ridnour picking up the assist. Ridnour's got 3 assists in the game. Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
He doesn't have the elite speed or shooting ability to be an impact starter, but Luke Ridnour, with his experience in the league, the way he can run an offense, his ball handling skills, and his three-point shot-making ability, is ideally suited to be a backup point guard and a very effective one for any team in the league.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Terry Stotts gave to his team during that last break. He talked about their postgame, saying, we've got this defense stretched out, and if we can make solid entry passes into the low block, the points will come. He also talked about their perimeter defense. He does not want to see anyone getting easy outside opportunities. He wants their defense to blanket those outside shooters. I'm sure Coach is hoping those changes turn the tide in this game and shrink the deficit before halftime. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. Here is Ridnour, following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Ridnour passes to Ilyasova. Matthews with the steal. Sanders against Lillard. Passes it to Wright. Shoots it. Here's Lopez. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
You know, he's really adept at keeping possessions alive by hitting the boards and cashing in on some of those putbacks.
And you know what? He's a guy who will put some wood on you now. He'll throw his weight around. Bodying him up play after play can really wear you down.
Lopez, no good on the free throw. And Rittenauer's three-point percentage has fallen off the last few seasons, Steve, but he's still one of the top mid-range shooters in the game.
Yes, he is. Former 14th overall pick out of Oregon back in 2003. You know, defensively, he can sometimes be at a disadvantage, but he's really carved out a nice, long career.
Here's Aldridge after Caron Butler's bucket. Yep, it goes in, and the Milwaukee lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from LaMarcus Aldridge. Milwaukee's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight, 50% exactly. Rittenauer dishes to Sanders.
Well, they ran a nice play there, Kevin, to set up the easy dunk.
Yeah, he got help from his teammate and ran his man right straight into the pick.
Yep, and that's the offensive player's job. Run him into the screen.
And it was a great pick, too, Clark. I mean, he may have lowered his shoulder a little bit, but he got him pretty clean.
Outside Aldridge. The kick out to Wright. The rebound by the Bucks. Butler's got 4 rebounds in this game. The tray. And Wright pulls it down. Trailblazers trail by 14, and that one's good. Matthews has got 6 points.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
Sanders' shot is good.
He's just going to punish you on the glass. And it's pretty deflating right now when you're trailing and you continue to give up second chance baskets.
And Lillard kicks to Aldridge. The jumper from the free throw line is good. Aldridge has got 6 in the quarter.
You know, he started out hot, and he's only gotten hotter. He could be in for one of those games.
Rittenauer passes to Ilyasova. That's good, and it's Rittenauer picking up the assist. Rittenauer's got 6 assists in the game. Lillard against Knight. Lillard left side. Dishes to Aldridge. Fires from the line. And the Trailblazers getting another bucket right there.
You know, if you were only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would be ahead.
Knight dishes to Ilyasova. Back to Knight. Knight gets a screen from Ilyasova. Lillard against Knight. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Knight's got 7. Trailblazers trail by 14. And Lillard kicks to Aldridge. The baseline J. And that one's good.
Well, his scoring this quarter has been off the charts. And the complexion of the game as a result may change.
Ilyasova, screen on Lillard. Here's Knight. Feeds it to Ilyasova. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Here's Matthews. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Bucks leading by 12. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line. Well, Brandon Knight out of Kentucky is more of a combo guard than a pure point when you look at him offensively. But with his long arms and good athleticism and at 6'3", I think there's a lot of upside for him at the defensive end of the floor. I think he's a guy that could defend 1 and 2s effectively.
And that one falls for Knight. And for Brandon Knight offensively, he's still trying to figure it out.
I think he's best as a spot-up shooter. I mean, he does have some point guard skills. He's got some athleticism, but he's really an excellent outside shooter when he's got time to set up.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Leonard, he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Batum in for Wright. No good on the second free throw.
Another trip to the stripe for him, and I tell you what, a little bit of a different feel here in the second quarter. A little more banging going on.
This team is never afraid to get physical. I think they enjoy this style of play.
Now Knight following the three-point attempt by Wesley Matthews. That's good. Knight's got 10.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
Outside Matthews. Kicks it to Williams. Jacks up a three, and he gets the bucket. Williams has got his second basket.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
To the inside. Matthews with the steal. Here's Batum. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And he just used his height that time down low. That's going to be pretty hard to defend against.
Rejected by Leonard. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. Carlos Delfino's checked in for Butler.
Carlos Delfino.
Poked away, and it's out of bounds to the Bucks as Milwaukee retains possession. Here's Mayo. He's got 19. This one for 3. There's the bucket. Good. Mayo's got 6 points in the quarter.
Boy, he's draining shots from long range, 2 in each of the first 2 quarters.
Williams passes to Batum. Trailblazers keep it alive. Robinson misses. Milwaukee leading by 13. Up top, Knight. Defended by Batum. That's good. Johnson's got his first 2 points.
Well, I'll bet his teammates love playing with him. He's distributing the ball perfectly.
Well, he keeps everybody happy, and you know what? The assist numbers don't lie.
Well, as far as the defense goes, Clark, that is not what's going to keep them in this league.
Yeah, but from the other perspective, you can see just how much that dunk pumped those players up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I sense a little bit of a momentum shift here. Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
It's Williams with the drive.
You know, guys, Portland had one of the worst benches in the history of the league last season. You know, they didn't get much contribution there. It was almost like they went into every game playing 5 versus 12.
The Trailblazers shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. And that one falls for Williams.
They've been getting more and more physical as this game has gone along.
Clearly, and they've gotten a lot of trips to the line because of it here in the second quarter.
And Williams drops them both.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Delfino gets a screen from Pachulia. No good from Delfino. Well, as Clark was talking about when referring to the Blazers, the bench scoring was a big problem for him as they didn't have anyone really outside their starting 5 that Steve could be counted on for 7 points or more a game.
Yeah, look, the NBA game is 48 minutes long. It's tough to survive for those full 4 quarters when you have no offensive punch off the bench. But I think this offseason they added a lot of firepower, a lot of scoring in reserve, and we'll see if that makes a difference for this team this year.
Now here's Williams. Brandon Knight missing his last shot.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Milwaukee leading by 9. Inside, here's Mayo, and the layup's good off the glass. Mayo's got 8 points in the quarter.
Some killer instinct he showed right there, exploding to the rim and adding to that lead.
Here's Williams, and again it's Portland converting.
The points just keep coming for him this quarter, and just at the right time, too, as they try to narrow the deficit.
Knight dishes to Henson. Back to Knight. He feeds it to Henson. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. 44 seconds left here in the second. Williams against Knight. And Williams, here we go. Can't get it to go. And Milwaukee will come the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. Mayo with it. Williams picks him up. Mayo kicks to Pachulia. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 5 rebounds tonight.
That's his second personal foul.
– 19 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Mayo against Matthews. Outside, Batum. Back to Robinson. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir. That may put a little life back into this team.
He is setting this place on fire, fellas. His shooting has been off the charts.
And so that brings the first half to a close. Bucks lead by 11. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Coach Drew, I know you like to talk an awful lot about pace. Clearly your team is in control here. How do you think they did controlling the pace of this ball game?
I thought we did a good job with it. I thought we were in at the opportune time. We missed some easy shots. Our defense has been pretty good. Getting off to a fast start was important, but the pace, I like it a lot.
Coach, thank you. Guys, overall, he's pretty pleased.
Thanks, Doris. And, folks, the halftime show is coming up next. And then it's on to the third quarter. We'll step aside right now.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome, everyone. Damon Bruce here. It's time to review all the goings-on from half number 1. Milwaukee up on top against Portland. The assist total indicative of their unselfish play, spreading that ball around. All around, great effort by O.J. Mayo. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. And hanging tough, the Portland Trail Blazers. Awful free throw shooting has been a major thorn in their side. It's been ugly. LaMarcus Aldridge absolutely lights out. He's now up to 20 points and not much to complain about with his shot selection either. A nice field goal percentage in the first half. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen.
How about O.J. Mayo in this one? He's got 26 points, and he's drained 4 3-pointers here as well.
With more to come, maybe. The way his shot looks tonight, it looks like he's in for a big night.
On the court for the Trailblazers, Lillard and Matthews pair up in the backcourt. Batum and Aldridge are the power tandem, and it's Lopez in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now, here is Knight, and the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's foul number 2 for him. You know, it's apparent there what a leader he is, always communicating it and keeping everyone on the floor in sync.
Yeah, regardless of whether he's having an off night or not, and that's what makes him such a great leader, just always trying to help his team any way he can.
And here's something else I love about him, guys. If one of his teammates is on the fringes of the game, maybe not as involved as he should be, and he takes it upon himself to get him involved.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, gentlemen, you recall around draft night, there were rumors that the Cavaliers were willing to trade both the number 1 and number 19 picks for LaMarcus Aldridge, but they were rebuffed by Portland. And it's easy to see why the Blazers would be reluctant to part with their franchise big man. But with Aldridge expressing unhappiness in Portland over the summer, you wonder if that's a decision they'll live to regret. Kevin?
No question, Doris. Everyone's got to be invested and on board, or it just doesn't work.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break gave him a second win. He looks fresh.
Lillard, the pass to Matthews. Back to Lillard. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Lillard. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Lillard's got 10 points.
Well, the pick worked really well there. Nice job taking it right to the 10 for the layup.
Well, Damian Lillard joins the list of outstanding great point guards out of Oakland, California. You go back to guys like Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, even Brian Shaw, who won titles as a player and coach in L.A.
Now, here is Knight after the miss from Sanders. Knight dishes to Sanders. Back tonight. Just 5 on the clock. Tries again. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And Lillard has some connection to those great players in Oakland. He started high school at Jason Kidd's alma mater, St. Joseph.
Yeah, he also worked on his defense in the summer with Gary Payton. There's a really strong connection with those Oakland players. And Lillard, just another in a long line of unbelievable talent coming out of the Bay Area.
Runaway Rookie of the Year winner. He was terrific. He's off on the first.
Surprisingly, the Bucks were one of the better teams from the East against the West last season, 14-16, which was better than most teams in the East and part of why they were able to make it into the playoffs.
And he sinks the second. Well, back to the Bucks. With their small backcourt, they could have nights where they could just run teams to death, and they were able to take advantage of a few teams like that.
Well, the main thing is that they weren't afraid of anyone. Ellis and Jennings would just try to run the ball down your throat. But in the end, it wasn't a combination that the Bucks felt confident with, and that's why they were willing to let Ellis and Jennings go.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Portland with the ball, following the bucket by the Bucks. And Matthews kicks to Lillard. Pass to Lopez. Rejected by Sanders. And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Mayo. It's blocked. Lillard with it, and it's Knight picking him up. Lopez. Knight grabs the board.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
Outside Mayo. Here's the 3. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. 29 points for O.J. Mayo.
And those are not the kind of three-point opportunities you can give the shooters in the NBA. These guys are just too good.
You're exactly right. It'll burn you every time, just like it's burning them here.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. One guy who's been getting it done is O.J. Mayo.
He's been locked in from deep. They're giving him too much breathing room and definitely paying the price for it.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, over the break, I listened in on what Terry Stotts had to say in his huddle. The ball has to be fed into the low post much more than it has been to this point. That was his message. He said, they're giving us room down low. Let's take advantage of it. He focused next on what he feels will be their most reliable offensive approach, which is the use of ball screens and the pick and roll. That's a play we should be seeing a lot of. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
And the offense continues to struggle. Just one make in their 5 attempts.
Lets it go from 14. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Now, here's Lillard. He's got 10. The pass to Lopez. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him.
He's giving them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
Here's Sanders. Portland grabs the miss.
He still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim. But too often, that's the story for him.
Matthews passes to Lillard. Lillard left side. Outside, Batum. That drops.
Kevin, he does a great job of moving without the ball, and he gets a lot of good looks because of that movement. And as long as his teammates are setting screens and looking for him, he can be lethal from the outside.
And that is the key, Steve, but his release in those catch-and-shoot moments is also terrific.
Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let him fly.
Now, here's Batum. Right side, Batum. Matthews with it. Now Mayo defending. And Matthews kicks to Batum. Lopez right side. Goes up the baseline. Knight grabs the board. Knight's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see. You know, in Larry Drew's case, it was a bit of an unusual situation once the season concluded. He was in the final year of his deal. The Hawks said we'll interview other candidates and left him free to interview for other head coaching positions, and he landed in Milwaukee.
Here's Lillard after Caron Butler's bucket, and Batum kicks to Lopez. Looking to get it going, and so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2. Well, Stephen, back to Coach Drew. Of course, he ended up signing with the Bucks.
Well, that was an interesting move for him to go from Atlanta to Milwaukee. You know, the Hawks were one of the better defensive teams in the league last year. I think that's what the Bucks saw in Drew. And that's the idea for him to really help this team get the most out of its players, particularly defensively.
That's good from Lopez.
Last season was the best yet for Robin Lopez. Career highs pretty much across the board for Lopez as he stepped into the starting center role for New Orleans. Sometimes it's just a matter of opportunity before a player gains the confidence to be productive in a starting role.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Pachulia comes in for Larry Sanders, and Luke Ridnour subbed in for Brandon Knight. And for Robin Lopez, not the scorer that his twin brother Brook is, but, you know, he's showing some signs offensively.
Well, he's efficient from the field and from the foul line, and the key for him is to continue to work on his rim protection, his defense in the lane. He's got potential to be very good in there.
Here's Lillard following the basket by O.J. Mayo. And the basket by Lillard. Lillard's got 12 in the game.
Boy, nice work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
No, that takes skill and creativity, Steve, particularly on the release to make sure he doesn't get a hand on it.
Count that one.
And we're seeing the shots just dropping from everywhere right now.
Yeah, since halftime, Steve, they've been operating very efficiently.
Now, here's Lillard. He's got 12. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Lillard's got 6 in the quarter.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Ridnour with it, and Batum picks him up defensively. Ridnour dishes to Mayo. The feed to Ilyasova. Good. Ilyasova's got 14.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
Yeah, that's 4 straight trips, guys, where their passes have ended up in scores. 4 straight assists. Great team play.
Now, here's Lillard. He's got 14. Back to Lopez. That one goes. Count it. He's got 7.
Fellas, he just is struggling to get anything going. Right now, his shooting percentage in the quarter, 20%.
Ridnour against Lillard. Ridnour passes to Pachulia. Good. And the assist goes to Ridnour.
Sloppy defense there. You can't let him get the ball in his hands down there.
Well, when he does, that's an automatic bucket.
Aldridge with a screen on Ridnour. Lillard with it. Now Mayo defending.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
Matthews against Ridnour. He dishes it to Pachulia. He kicks it to Mayo.
O.J. Mayo is out of USC. He's in his 6th season in the NBA, fellas, and he was considered the top player in his high school class. He's very, very highly regarded. He's yet to be a star at the professional level, but I think he's looking to solidify himself as a quality starter.
And the first one at the line is good for the Trailblazers. Leonard comes in for Robin Lopez. Robinson is subbed in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Trailblazers have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. And Williams, here we go. And the dunk by Robinson.
Well, I tell you what, it was the good pick that was set that turned him loose.
And once he got around it, Steve, it was smooth sailing right to the hole.
Well, because of the pick, he had plenty of room. That's why he was able to power down that slam.
Milwaukee's gotten the three ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. And for O.J. Mayo, 6'4" player. Some people saw him as a guy who could play point guard, shooting guard. He's just a player, though. He can do a lot of things on the floor.
He's a decent ball handler, but he's a shooting guard. I mean, he can be a little bit of a combo guy, but for the most part, he's out there to score, and most of those points coming off jump shots.
Here is Ridnour. Portland making their last shot. Top of the key jumper is offline from Mayo. Right against Ridnour. Robinson a screen on Ridnour. Here's Wright. Outside Williams. The dish to Robinson. Pass to Leonard. Over Pachulia. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. That's now 8 points for Leonard. Bucks leading by 21. Here's Ridnour. 5 points in the game. Passes to Pachulia. It's Mayo on the wing. Clock at 6. And it's blocked by Leonard. Now here's Batum. He's guarded by Henson. Ridnour against Williams. Dishes to Leonard. Wants to get it to Robinson and does. And he gets it to go.
This is the time they wanted to mount the rally and really get back into it, and they're starting to produce.
Yeah, you can't wait until the fourth quarter to make progress, Steve. This is the second half run they want to keep on rolling with.
Here is Ridnour following the basket by Thomas Robinson.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Portland. Lillard comes in for Darrell Wright. There's 1:26 left in the third quarter. And Lillard kicks to Aldridge. Lets it go from 11, and he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Outside Mayo. Now Ridnour. They need this one, and he hits the jump shot. Ridnour's got 7.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot off.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
Williams with the ball. Now Mayo defending. Williams dishes to Batum. Delfino with the steal. And up the court come the Bucks on the break. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
.44 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Lillard, the pass to Leonard. Feeds to Batum. Looking for Aldridge, he gets it there. And he gets it to go. Aldridge has got 22.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Here's Delfino. Kicks it to Pachulia. And here's Mayo from beyond the arc. And here are the Blazers. They've outscored them 10 points to 2 during this run. And Lillard kicks to Williams. And another 3 for Portland. 5 seconds left in the third. Three-pointer, Ridnour, and that's not going to go. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Milwaukee on top, up by 16. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Trailblazers trail by 16. Up front, it's Henson and Sanders. Brandon Knight is out there with Carlos Delfino, and it's Butler in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Rejected by Sanders. Now, here is Knight. Now Delfino goes up and lays it nice and easy. Delfino's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Bucks. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Bucks.
Now we've seen them make that extra effort rotating from the weak side, closing out on their airspace, really sending shots back.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
Milwaukee with the ball. Following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Knight dishes to Henson, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Big time finish, emphatic.
He hangs on the rim too, just for good measure.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little showboating out there.
Portland with the ball after the basket by Milwaukee. And Lillard kicks to Williams. Outside, Batum. 6 on the shot clock. Lillard, the pass to Leonard. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Milwaukee leading by 18. Knight kicks to Delfino. Back to Knight. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, you knew coming out of college that Brandon Knight was going to be good. You know, he's got that way about him that just oozes confidence. And he's got a lot of skill. He can put the ball on the floor. He can knock down a shot. Got great confidence in his game.
Yeah, that confidence is important. He's so slippery around the rim. You think you'll have forced him into a bad shot. Then he just twists and turns and gets a shot up anyway. And the first one drops.
What a game we've seen here for Knight. He has 23 points and 13 assists. He's shown some flash with his passing and some grit with his board work.
Well, that's not a combination too many players are capable of either, guys.
And Portland making a change here. Lopez is checked in. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
You know, at 33 and 49 on the season last year, the Blazers were well below 500, but they were a 500 team against the Eastern Conference.
Now here's Matthews. Back to Lopez. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Great assist there. Led him to the perfect spot.
Bucks leading by 17. Knight dishes to Delfino. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Portland, as you said, was 500 against the East last season. They were 15 up and 15 down. You know, you look at how other teams with that record fared against the East, and Steve, 500 isn't bad.
Well, usually when you finish 16 games under 500 for the season, as the Blazers did, you don't go 500 against either conference. But, you know, they happen to just have a good matchup, apparently, with a lot of their Eastern opponents, and they did pretty well.
Here's Delfino following the basket by Nicholas Batum. Delfino passes to Butler. 5 to shoot. Shot on the wing. And that one hits back iron. Trailblazers trail by 18. Lillard outside. He feeds it to Lopez. And Batum kicks to Lillard. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession.
6 seconds on the shot clock. 6.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. And here's Matthews for the 3. Bucks leading by 18. Delfino dishes to Knight. And it's Portland with the rebound. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds in the game. The Trailblazers have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Lillard the pass to Aldridge. Shoots. Easy jumper from very short distance. Aldridge has got 24 points.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
Delfino kicks to Knight. Pass to Delfino. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Delfino's got 7 points here in this quarter.
The defenders have to be aware. They cannot allow him that position before he catches the ball.
You're exactly right, Steve. That is his domain. Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Knight gets a screen from Ilyasova. Lopez with the block. Here is Lillard. Aldridge with a screen on Sanders. Open shot, Batum, and he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
You know, passing the ball well on the perimeter has really opened things up offensively for this club.
Steve, it makes the game easy. I mean, 10 straight points off assist. That's impressive, but it's easy when you move the ball.
Here's Delfino. The pass to Ilyasova. Sanders with a screen on Aldridge. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
He went a decent amount of time before his first turnover there. It's really been a good, safe stretch of basketball from him to this point.
O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for the Bucks. Trailblazers trail by 16. Lillard dishes to Batum. Lopez sets a screen for Batum.
Well, for Nicholas Batum, a little bit of a lull in his shooting percentage last season. Certainly he garnered a lot of attention defensively because of how well he had played the year before. We'll see if he's able to rebound in his numbers this season. Well, Nicholas Batum in this one, he has 8 points and 2 steals. Good contributions for him offensively with the assist and also making some nice steals.
Well, you're right, Clark. He's been equal parts creative and disruptive.
And that one falls for Batum. Both free throws good from Batum.
100% free throw shooting this half, guys.
Efficiency is so crucial when you're trying to overcome a deficit, Steve.
Outside Mayo. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. And now that's 35 points for O.J. Mayo. And for Nicholas Batum, a solid long-range shot, Steve, with a quick release.
And he can really hurt you in transition as well, Kevin, with his ability to get out and run. I think the biggest improvement to come is his in-between game as far as attacking in the half court.
He's injury-prone, though, and I think that's a concern for the Blazers.
Yeah, but he can really run, and he's athletic.
He is. Ilyasova, a screen on Matthews. Mayo, the pass to Ilyasova. Here's Sanders. Aldridge with the block. That's good. Lillard with it. Outside Aldridge. From 15 feet away, and Portland again with the bucket.
Great teamwork out there, really helping each other out.
They're playing as one. I mean, they're like a symphony. Everybody in harmony and in beat and in rhythm. 5 straight baskets now have resulted because of assists. What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seems like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
And Lillard kicks to Batum. And there's the feed to Matthews. Shot clock at 6. Aldridge, no luck. Milwaukee leading by 16. Knight with it. He's picked up by Lopez. And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Aldridge. Some solid defense from Butler. The Bucks have gotten more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. Knight dishes to Sanders. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. And the Bucks lead by 18.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
And Lillard kicks to Batum. Lillard, the pass to Aldridge.
You know, a big part of the success of LaMarcus Aldridge is his versatility. You can play power forward, you can slide him over and move him to the center spot, but you know, he's very difficult for anybody to handle. Almost 7 feet tall and extremely skilled.
Well, how about LaMarcus Aldridge in this one? 28 points and 3 denials. He's doing all the things you can ask of a player in the low post.
Oh, the blocks, the rebounds, it's incredible what he's done here.
The free throw drops for Aldridge. Both free throws good from Aldridge.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Knight against Lillard. Right side, Butler. Goes up the baseline. Great D that time from Matthews. We're going back to Aldridge for a second. He really does have the skill set of a power forward Clark and the body of a center.
Yeah, you know, that versatility is really impressive. When you think about a big guy guarding him, he can take him outside and utilize that jumper and quickness. And then if he has a smaller guy, he'll back him down and work him over inside.
Timeout called, the Bucks.
You look at the model for consistency from a star player, and LaMarcus Aldridge is that model. Always up around 21 points and about 8 or 9 rebounds for the past 3 seasons.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Guys, well, Larry Drew had some advice for his team over that last break. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
And for Aldridge, a great score, a factor defensively, certainly. And Steve, a decent rebounder. He's got a pretty well-rounded game.
Yeah, at 6'11", he can play either the power forward or the center spot. He's best suited in the power forward role where his length really allows him to take advantage down on the block.
It almost seems like they played him out of position, if you think 4 is his position. They played him out of position for most of his career.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap up since the start of the second half. They're starting to find the range.
Steve, the lasers are starting to do their thing. That's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
Now here's Butler. Ilyasova dishes to Knight. And stolen by Lillard. Sanders against Batum. He kicks it to Lillard. From deep. And another 3 for Portland.
Boy, the deeper we get into this game, the more offense we're seeing.
And that goes for both teams, Steve. Everybody firing on all cylinders right now.
Here's Mayo. He dishes it to Knight. To Mayo. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Lillard outside. No good from outside. Bucks leading by 10. Mayo kicks to Knight. Dish now to Butler. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. And that's now 18 points for Butler.
That's right where they wanted to go with the ball on that possession.
Now a timeout called by Portland. They're behind by 12. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Larry Drew said to his team. Offensively, he wants them to work the ball around more than they have been. He told his guys they've rushed things far too much at that end of the court, and it's leading to sloppy possessions. He also talked about their defensive approach, which he wants to be a conservative one. He said, quote, let's not get overextended. Stick to your assignments. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Now, here is Knight. After the miss from Lopez, Butler on the way. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal foul. Second
Poke loose. Mayo drives in. Batum with the steal.
It's been their game. They've owned it and still wreaking a little havoc with their D.
Lillard misses. Bucks leading by 12.
And clearly no question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for Milwaukee.
And the big difference here was accuracy behind the three-point line, Clark.
Well, they started spraying them from deep, and then it spread out the defense, and they had all the looks they wanted.
Kept alive, Sanders, and he converts the layup. And the Bucks lead by 14.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far, Steve.
And even if it's only a modest advantage that they have in that category, it's still a significant factor.
Yes, and Knight with the assist that time.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they?
Lillard the pass to Aldridge. And it's good. Aldridge has got 32 points in the game.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
Milwaukee has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Mayo drives in. Pass to Knight. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ilyasova dishes to Mayo. Shot clock at 6. Releases. And another basket for Milwaukee.
Just a little bit more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate the win.
Well, they can already start to celebrate, Steve, and they should let their team hear it. They were good.
Here's Lillard. No luck.
He's been the guy on the boards today, no question.
Steve, you're all over it. I mean, his numbers back it up. He's been working extremely hard out there.
And so it's the Bucks taking care of business in this one. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Brandon, certainly a nice win, aided in large part by your ability to get your teammates involved. What is your primary focus?
Definitely just get my guys going a lot more and, try to be more of a playmaker. And, I enjoy, seeing the good guys going and making shots on my passes.
I think they enjoy it as well, Brandon. Great job. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, O.J. Mayo.